What's up guys, it's Nicole, also known as Nikki Vegan, and today I'm going to be talking about some things that no one tells you about going vegan, and I'm going to be really honest, really blunt, and just share kind of my personal experiences with you. I did do a video like this with my friends on the Vegan View, and I love that episode, so if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out the description box below. But this is going to be a little bit more personal, just from my personal experiences, everything from changes in my body to changes in my life in general, and how veganism has really played a part in that. The first thing that no one tells you about going vegan is the bloating and the gas and the farting, which isn't a great thing to talk about on the internet, but I wish more people did, especially when I first went vegan, because when I first went vegan, all I saw were, girls in crop tops and bikinis on Instagram, drinking banana smoothies and living, their best life. And then when I went vegan, I felt really good and I lost a lot of weight, but I definitely had, a food baby at the end of every night. Like I had a lot of kind of bloating, and it wasn't necessarily uncomfortable, but I was kind of like, is this going to be forever? Because this isn't really what it seems like I've seen on Instagram. And the truth is, it really is normal, especially in the beginning. If you're coming from a standard American diet, which is generally pretty low in fiber, to a whole food plant-based diet, it's just so much more fiber for your body to process, and it just takes some time. Your body will adjust over time naturally, but there are a few things that you can do to help it that really helped me. And the first one, don't roll your eyes, but it's drinking enough water, because fiber really does need water to kind of help push it through your system. Don't force yourself to drink too much water, but do try to drink a lot of water, especially in between meals, to help flush your system and prepare your body for the fiber that you're going to be eating. Another tip that I have is from Mike the Vegan, and he says that when you're going from the standard American diet to a plant-based diet, you can kind of baby step into plant foods that are lower in fiber and work your way up. It can be as simple as checking Chronometer and checking to see, which plant foods have the most fiber. White rice has less fiber than brown rice, so maybe you eat white rice in the beginning and work your way up to brown rice and that sort of thing. And that way it's more of a gradual change, and that will really reduce bloating. If you already are vegan and you're like, my body hasn't really adjusted, something I talked about in my bloating and gas video, which I did on this channel, is about how intuitive eating really does help you. And I know intuitive eating is one of those concepts like balanced. It's like, what does that actually mean? And for me, it just means listening to my body, and if it feels funny or weird or tired or in pain, I just respond to it. And I've learned how to do that just by really kind of tuning in and being gentle. So for example, I used to not be able to eat raw apples, or a lot of raw foods in general. I was really stressed out for a while last year. I'm a very busy person and I just wasn't handling it well, and everything was stressing me out. So eating raw foods like raw apples was really upsetting my stomach, and I noticed that every time I ate apples it hurt my stomach, but I ate apples anyway because apples are healthy, right? They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and so I figured it was unrelated to the apple because apples are healthy. And what I learned is that my body doesn't really love eating raw apples, especially not at that time, and so it was actually unhealthy to eat that food for me. So I cut foods like that out, replaced them with softer, more easy to digest cooked foods, and really tried to be gentle with my body and with my digestive system, and it was a game changer for me. The second thing that no one tells you about going vegan is how easy it is. Everyone acts like it is so hard to be vegan, including me on myself. I wanted to be a perfect vegan. I was really fascinated with all these superfood powders and these different, things you can add to it, and making sure I had vegan options everywhere I went. And it was a very stressful thing for a little while, trying to make sure that I would be able to maintain my veganism. But what I've learned is the more stripped down, bare bones, basic version of a vegan diet, which is, in my opinion, a whole food plant-based diet, is actually one of the most no-brainer ways to eat, because you don't really have to worry about overcooking things or undercooking things the way you do with meat. You don't have to spend a lot of money on these superfood powders, because whole foods in their own perfect form are a perfect food. They generally have vitamins, protein, fat, carbohydrates, fiber, all within this pretty package, of a fruit or vegetable, or a whole grain or a legume. So as long as you're eating a wide variety of those types of foods, you're gonna be doing just fine. You don't have to stress so much about making sure you get one specific nutrient or adding, vitamin C powder or extra fiber to anything. Like, you're getting all of that from the food, and it really is such a freeing experience to be able to trust that eating this way is natural and good for you. It's the way we're intended to eat, and so therefore you can really kind of take a load off and just trust that you're doing the best thing for your body. Also, in terms of traveling, I think being prepared is the best way to not stress about it. I'm going on a trip soon, and I've been on many trips as a vegan, and yeah, not being able to find vegan food is a legit thing. So being prepared is the number one way to kind of ease the stress and make sure that you're going to have a healthy option, because the times that people tend to fall off the vegan bandwagon is when they are hungry and there's not a lot of vegan options around. I recommend traveling with things like instant oatmeal packets, or homemade granola bars, or store-bought vegan protein bars, dried fruit, fresh fruit, making sandwiches in your hotel room, having them in your backpack. Being able to have food like that at your fingertips really does make it so much easier for you to kind of have peace of mind and enjoy your trip without stressing about food. And you can always think of it as a backup. Like, it's definitely fun to go out and explore and see what they have, but there's no pressure to find anything because you're prepared. The longer I've been vegan, the more I've learned about the animal agriculture industry, and the more frustrating it is to see, because what you realize is that you are not only doing better for yourself by not eating those animals, but you realize how unnecessary it is. You are thriving, not just surviving, but thriving eating this way, and you're feeling so good, and you realize that those 2 to 3 servings of animal products that you had before are so unnecessary. You can live a deliciously vibrant, healthy, happy life without eating them. So it really comes down to just a choice of, do you want to partake in this industry? And the more you learn about it, the more it is the most disgusting thing you can imagine, because animals don't have a voice, and we really are, a steward over them, and it is a gross injustice the way that we're treating them. And I never thought about it in that way, even though I always knew, where my food came from. I knew that a pork chop was a pig, but I thought that it was natural to eat meat. The thing is, it's not natural to breed the billions of animals that we bring into the world every year in the US alone, just for food purposes, and then kill them in these mass quantities, literally billions with a B every year. And they're not kept in the best circumstances. Even the ones that are, ultimately aren't in a lot of ways. You see these dairy cows out, on the side of the highway, and it looks like they're living the life, like moseying around. But a lot of them have had their children taken away from them, or they're kind of quarantined in these small places later on in their lives and ultimately slaughtered. And if you've ever seen pig vigil videos where these pigs are being transported to the slaughterhouses, a lot of times they've gone without food or water for days. They're piled up on top of each other, and the audio alone of the videos of the sounds of the crying pigs will just make you absolutely sick to your stomach. It makes me emotional just thinking about it, because it's so unnecessary. Even if it was natural to go out and hunt for a pig, that would be one pig. This is thousands of pigs every day at each slaughterhouse, and these animals are terrified. And pigs are smarter than dogs. They are smarter than 3-year-old children. I've seen a pig color code a puzzle, not just put the right piece in the puzzle, but color code, like put the blue piece in the blue hole and the yellow one. I mean, it's insane how smart they are. And Danny, my friend Danny, who does the Vegan View with me, said something that I'll never forget. She said, maybe pigs aren't my favorite animal, maybe I prefer dogs, but my prejudice of one animal over the other doesn't mean that I want one animal to suffer and the other one not to. And that was mind-blowing to me, because that's exactly right. We've been trained to think that, dogs and cats are lovely pets to love and nurture, and livestock is food. And the thing is, they're the same. They feel the same. They cry when they're scared. They flee pain. I'm gonna get emotional. They run away from pain the same way that every animal does. And just the idea that we continue to do this in the numbers that we do it in, it just makes me so sad. And that's really the thing that makes me feel like, when I do feel like I'm an angry vegan, it's because I feel like the people who say that they love meat and say that it's natural to eat meat have never been to something like one of these pig vigils, where these cars, like, they're not even cars, they're semi trucks filled with these animals who haven't eaten in days, and they're scared and crying and they're going to meet their death, and then we say that it's worth it because we love bacon. Like, that to me is so selfish, and that's the thing that gets me really angry, because if that truck was filled with dogs or cats, people would lose their mind. There's a place here in LA called Oinksters. I've never been there, but I drive by it all the time, and it's infuriating because it's obviously a place that sells pig sausages. But if that place was called Meows or, you know, Barksters or something, where they had cat and dog sausages, people would lose their mind. They would be, you know, petitioning and rioting and protesting and trying to get that place closed down. But because it's a pig and a pig is food, it's okay. And it's just the insensitivity of that name and the whole idea that one animal is better than the other because it's less cute or more cute is just, it's so messed up. There's so many things you can't control in this life, but you can control what's on your plate. And you are not missing out on anything by not contributing to animal cruelty. I live a life of delicious food. It's not a sacrifice. It is a joy. I've helped my body so much. I lost weight. I helped my relationship with food so much, coming from an eating disorder past. I've found friends and tried new flavors and new foods, and so many benefits have come from switching over to a plant-based diet. And if you can live that way, why wouldn't you at least try some of the time? Maybe you don't have to be full vegan, but why wouldn't you just try to make more conscious choices? Which brings me to my fourth and final point. The last thing that I've learned from being vegan is how much power I actually have. I never really realized that. You know, there's so many things in the world that you can't control, like I said, but this is something you can control, and you save thousands of animals, thousands of gallons of water. You reduce greenhouse gases, and your own personal well-being is enhanced so much by eating this way. Measurably, my cholesterol has gone down. Measurably, my weight has gone down. My skin is cleared up. There's so many benefits to this diet, and it's because of the choices I make every single day. It's not one big change. It's a series of choices that I make every day. No one's forcing me to be vegan. No one's standing next to me, you know, monitoring what I eat. I choose every time I eat something of my own volition to make a choice, to be conscious and to be compassionate towards myself and to the planet and to the animals. And all those little choices add up and make you so confident, and you feel so empowered. And I can't tell you how much that has radiated to other parts of my life and drastically changed everything. Like the way I treat people, the way I treat myself, the way I view what I'm capable of. It's incredible, and it's absolutely life-changing. So those are some things that I did not expect when going vegan. I want to know what you didn't expect or what you can relate to, so let me know down in the comments. If you are not a vegan, I hope you know that I am not judging you. I'm just asking you to try to make good choices when you can. You know, try to reduce the amount of animal products that you eat. Try to be conscious of where your food comes from. You know, just try to be, you know, plant-based a couple times a day or a couple times a week. I promise you it's only going to benefit you. It's only going to make a great impact on the planet and decrease animal suffering, and that is only going to be good for everyone. So thank you guys for watching. I love you. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.